What's up, boys? Today we're going to check out the Kawasaki 250, both Supercross and Motocross. I'm going to try to make setups for both of them. As you can see right now, we're on completely stock setup. Nothing changed at all. And we're just going to see why is nobody using this bike. Maybe this is like a series I'll be doing and see if we can get these bikes to be viable options. Now, I do think that really the main issue with the Kawasaki from when I did my original testing. Whoa, wait a minute, this thing is 8. Okay, yeah, when I did my original testing for the 250s was E-Road, was where it really started to struggle, was in the E-Road. So I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to really replicate that. I'm doing this video at a weird time when there's not a lot of people on the online servers that are on tracks that are like Maryland or Polita V2. Like, there's no good tracks up right now. So I figured I'd just jump in testing, see if we could figure out what's going on with this thing. So far, in completely stock form, I'm not gonna lie, this thing's feeling really, really good. Now I'm gonna jump around on a few different Supercross tracks and kind of just see what we can get moving here. I'll do a few laps on a few, and then we'll move over to outdoors. But you know, with the motocross season coming up here, I really just want to see, like, man, can we get some color in there, you know, other than not Suzuki. I wish there was more Suzukis, but KTM and Husky. And we need to get some more color in there. And I think Supercross, it's a little bit more difficult because there's really, like, I don't know, man. The KTM's just so good in Soupy. Okay, all right, well, I could definitely tell this thing feels a little slow. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say that, and then the comments gonna be full of meh. But the Honda seems like I was able to get over some of this stuff a little bit easier, but that could just be me and having a gigantic skill issue. So we're gonna keep trying. But I think, anyway, what I was saying is I think for outdoors, I think it would be, you know, it's a lot easier to get a bike to work outdoors in this game than it is in Soupy, because you don't have whoops. And you can see how that thing's swapping a little bit through the, like, side to side. We can fix that. So let me fix it real quick. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up to 6 swing arm. We're gonna go up on the rod length. We're gonna go up on our fast bump. See, it doesn't go very high. And I'm gonna go down on our spring. We're gonna save this as KX, SX. I don't know that this is gonna be the final one, so I don't know if you wanna copy that. But we're gonna start with this. I think that this should help a lot, actually, with this bike going through those whoops. See how, like, if you guys saw, it was kind of swapping left and right. That swing arm for sure is gonna help, and I think the rod length will help too, but we'll see. Definitely better. It started to do it a little bit, and maybe this thing is just kind of prone to doing it. But the thing you have to kind of watch out for when you're going up, or, you know, yeah, up on your rod length and up on your swing arm, is it can make it so it doesn't turn. The bike, it makes the bike a lot longer, and so it doesn't really turn very well, and so that can be difficult, I guess, you know, like. It just depends on what you're looking for. If your settings are, if you got like a higher gain, you can kind of get away with that sometimes. If you have a lower gain on your controller settings, that can be a little bit more difficult. Okay, so I can definitely tell, and I'm gonna switch to the 100 rear tire here in a minute, but this thing is not as fast as the Honda, it seems, you know, and that, again, I'm on a 110 tire, and I usually run the 100, so that could be part of it. It does feel really good in the whoops. Like, it feels like the front end's really solid. I really want to try to run this with some E-Road to see. Oh, that was interesting. But let me, let's change the 100 tire and we'll try that real quick. All right, so we got 100 tire changed. Let's give this a go. Why is my Ghost way over here? Even with that little mistake in that rhythm, I did a 56.9, which, I mean, that's a pretty decent lap. I mean, my fastest lap on the Honda is like a 53.7. Now, I don't really anticipate to be running anywhere near that, to be honest, because I have 10 billion hours on the Honda and like no time at all on this thing. So I'm not sure, but we'll give it a go here. I mean, man, it does feel really good though. It feels very just kind of solid and like stable. Oh yeah, that 100 tire made a big difference, huge difference. So all right, well, I'm kind of vibing with it, boys. I'm kind of vibing. I'm not gonna lie. I am kind of vibing with this thing. We really need to get this thing into some E-road or at least like a rougher track. Oh baby. Oh baby. Okay, okay, okay. A little shaky on the exit there, but yo, you guys might want to try this bike out. Yo, I might be eating my words here. Okay, I was almost 2 full seconds up on my time, by the way. So that would have been almost a 54, but I did cut the track because I'm a goober. Oh man, I've been on the Honda. Oh man, it just ate that corner up. I've been on the Honda so much though that it's gonna be hard for me to like, I don't know that I can switch, you know? Oh man, I ate that corner up. Okay, I made a big mistake at the beginning and I'm still 1.5 up. So that was a 55.4. I mean, that's not a bad lap. Let's try a different Supercross track. All right, boys, we're here at East Rutherford. I felt like this would be a good test because this track is really, really, it's very ruddy. And I think that it'll kind of highlight some of the issues if there are issues. And the whoops are very different here. The whoops are very close together and it's fast. So I'm curious to see how it does. I mean, hey, listen, that wasn't the best run, but listen, that was pretty good. Yeah, and wait, why is this bike good? Hold on. This bike, wait. Is this the most underrated 250 in the game right now? Ooh, made a little mistake. That was on me though. That was on me. All right, hold on. We can get a good lap. All right, so instead of being soft in the rear and stiff in the front, I switched that around so it's soft in the front and stiff in the rear. And let's see. Oh yeah, much better. It still likes to kick, and I think we could probably get that to, like, you know, figure that out. But it seems like it likes to be stiff in the rear and softer in the front. It doesn't have the power that the Honda does or the KTM does. I know a lot of people think the Honda's slow, but it's actually not. It's just a sound mod. But it doesn't seem like this thing pulls as hard, and maybe we change with gearing a little bit on that. But it does seem good everywhere else, you know? Hold on, let's see. Third gear into the whoops, just kind of lean back. Yeah, see, I messed that up, but that was on me. I should have leaned forward instead of leaning back. But like, I didn't die, you know, like it kind of rode that out. All right, let's go to outdoors and test this thing out. All right, I realized I didn't show you the setup from the Supercross. So here's the setup that I was running on that last track. You can see this is stock and this is what I was running. Again, I'm not saying this is a good setup. This is just what I was running so you guys can see. Now let's try it on outdoors. We're gonna run the same setup on outdoors just for hee hee ha ha moments. Maybe there is a hybrid setup. I know that I think Skills has been doing those hybrid setups, and I think with these OEMs, doing a hybrid setup has actually kind of worked more than usual, to be honest. So yeah, maybe we can find a setup that works for both. Right out of the gate, yeah, I would definitely change the gearing if it were me on this, but we're just gonna run this like this for now. It also could just be this sound mod. I mean, yeah, because it sounds like she's about out of juice, but she's still kind of ripping. Oh my. Yo, dude, you see, bro, this thing just locked into that corner. I do think with E-Road, though, this thing would be an issue. And I'm sorry, like, I literally, like, can't test right now because E-Road on Polita V2 is different than E-Road on this kind of track. And there's, like, literally nothing open. If there, I'll look before the end of the video. And if there is, after I get off this track, we'll switch. I just want to do a lap or two to check this out. But I think you might want to give this, yo, oh, okay, that was me. But listen, you might want to give this bike a shot. Low key though, this thing is doing really good. Like, and it feels really, dude, okay. I was just on TikTok live on this track a couple minutes ago, and I was on the Honda, and the chop through that section, like, I run vibration on my controller and I could feel it like pretty heavy in there. And that's kind of how I know if the, like, that's how I judge if the bumps are big or not. Like right there, I can feel going into that corner, there's a lot of chop. Dude, I didn't even feel anything on this bike. What's wrong with this bike? If you guys are like really good, you know, like absolute barkers in the game, let me know why we're not using the Cali. I don't feel like power is an issue. Maybe on Soupy, you know, I guess I could get that on Supercross, how power could be an issue. But on outdoors, it definitely doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like it's any worse than the Honda, you know. And I feel like the Honda is pretty definitely fine, you know. I mean, I've gotten top 10s, top 5s on the Honda. All right, I gotta go look for a lobby. If there's a lobby, I might just switch to like an easy track if there is any E-road at all. All right, so I'm gonna go look for that. I just did a 39 or a 40.0. Let's go look for any sort of E-road and we'll try it in that. All right, boys, we found a lobby that has E-road on, and it's on Mouse Motor Park, so this will be an interesting one as well. This track's really fast. And the E-road is at 1 because these lobbies just love to make giant holes in the tracks. But we're going to spin some laps, and I'll try to give you my thoughts as we go. I might cut around a little bit to when there is more E-road, or maybe when the race starts or whatever, to see if we can't get a better idea of how this thing does. But I want to see, just on a really fast, you know, kind of choppy track like this, how does it do? Because we were just on MXGP of France, and that track is really like big bumps. But there are other MXGP tracks like, you know, MXGP of Argentina that don't have as big of bumps and are more choppy, that I would say are a little bit more similar to this track here. All right, we are starting to get some E-road in these corners. I mean, it's basically nothing, so I can't even really feel it yet. But definitely my thoughts so far on the KX, you know, is, man, I think it's definitely worth a shot. I really think, guys, man, like, there are so many people that just only use the KTM or only use the Husky, and I really don't understand why. Like, I guess at the pro scene, I guess I can get, we're trying to squeeze every little 10th out of things, but I mean, even the 450s, I think Tyler J and Steiner ran in Supercross the Kawasaki 450, and I'm pretty sure that thing's not very good in Soupy, and they qualified 3rd and 2nd. And I think people need to realize that, like, the bike has a lot less to do with your result than you realize. And that's kind of why I got off of the KTM. Was, I mean, the KTM, first of all, I don't really vibe with it, but I just wanted to kind of show people, like, you can do good, you know. And again, I'm not, you know, winning races or whatever, but I wouldn't be winning races on the KTM, you know. And I think that some of the benefits of the other bikes, like the benefit of the Honda for me, is that it's really consistent, and I don't seem to crash nearly as much. That outweighs any of the speed benefits I think I would have on, you know, the KTM or the Husky. Like, maybe the Husky and the KTM, I can go a half second faster, but I promise I'm gonna crash at least 3 or 4 more times on that bike. Also, back to this bike. Holy cow, this thing's ripping. This thing feels so good. Yeah, this thing's actually feeling really, really good right now. Like, really, really good. Looks like there's a race starting. There's only a few people in here, but let's see if we can get some Eero going. All right, boys, last lap here. There's not a ton of people in here. There was like 8 or something, and then a lot of them have left. So the Eero's not crazy, but it is, you can see it's starting to pick up a little bit. And I'm gonna be honest, haven't really noticed this thing struggling any more than any of the other bikes. This thing has been really solid. Like, it, you know, it moves around. Like I said, there's not a lot of people, but the E-Road is pretty high. It's on 1. Which is actually really, really high. Usually the pro races are like 0.3 or sometimes even 0.03. So yeah, I guess to wrap up, I would say I can understand why people don't like this thing in Supercross. It does seem to buck a little bit in the whoops. I mean, I'm sure that if you spend some time in the setup, we could definitely get that to a decent point. But for outdoors, I think you should try it. I think you should try it. Use that setup that I showed earlier. I'll show it one last time here at the end. And I really do think that this bike is decent. So definitely check this bike out. And I hope that you guys have a good day. And I love you. And I'll see you in the next one. All right. Peace.